We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, this is Tommy Kramer, and I'm here on a podcast for the Vikings Uncensored. That's us, Uncensored.
Hey everybody, episode 15, Vikings Uncensored. I'm Rhino, he's Lance, and that was Tommy Kramer.
Oh yeah.
Tommy Kramer was kind
Nailed
enough to
another
give us a video shout out for episode 15 here.
Another one.
Yeah,
Got another one, huh?
Tommy was in town on Monday night, and we're recording on Tuesday morning here, doing a meet and greet thing at one of the fireworks stands or stations in town here, and went up there and got some stuff signed. And here again asked him if he would be willing to do it, and he said
Sometimes
sure.
all you gotta do is just ask, be respectful, and
Yep, yeah, and Tommy's a good dude. He's always doing stuff for the fans and stuff, and he has his little parties that
he's
they
just
have.
a normal guy like anybody else.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, he just played fucking football for a handful of years.
yeah, quite a few years, but
Well, yeah,
right. Yeah, it's always cool to get to do something with Kramer because, like Lance and I were talking before the show here. Tommy was probably my first favorite player, but he was quarterbacking the team by the time I got old enough to understand, what was going on, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Tarkenton had retired by that time. I was like 3, I think, when Tark retired. So, but
Yeah, but then basically Tommy was kind of in the tail end of his career by the time I really, got to know what football was. So I didn't get to catch much of him, but I've seen, the videos.
Yeah, Tommy. I mean, Tommy was under, at least in the quarterbacks of, Vikings history, he's really underrated. I think,
I agree.
He's like second or third in just about every passing category you can think of. He's
really one of the unheralded quarterbacks that we've had.
Yeah,
honestly,
he had that. He had that it factor. They called him 2-minute Tommy for a reason. He had that gunslinger, didn't give a shit attitude, and he was, he may suck for half to 2/3 of a game, but when it came down to it, he could.
You need to win.
You need to win. He could drive it down the field and get you down in there, and he was kind of a Brett Favre before Brett Favre was around.
I was going to say that, yeah.
But like I said, always great to do stuff with Tommy, and big thank you to Tommy Kramer for doing that for us, and also Red Dragon Fireworks in Harwood, North Dakota. Shout out to you guys, for having Tommy up here and allowing us to be able to do this kind of stuff. We always enjoy it. So,
yep.
We're going to mix things up a little bit this week. Like we talked last week, it's really into the dead part of the season right now. There isn't anything really newsworthy going on.
Yeah, it's pretty dead.
Yep. So, which realistically, in the dead portion, it's probably a good thing that there's no news, because usually when if any news pops during this, somebody went and did something stupid,
like had a love boat or something.
Or that was during a bye week, but
that was during the bye week. Excuse me, you're right.
So, no news is good news.
DUI or something related.
Yeah.
Trafficking.
So
drugs or whatever.
Yeah, some kind of stuff that you shouldn't be doing. We'll just put it that way.
Right.
So with that, we talked last week that when we hit 100 subscribers, we were going to announce a contest. Well, we're officially at, what was it this morning? 101 subscribers now.
101 this morning. Yeah.
So we're bringing out our first contest, and if you take a look at the screen, here's what we're going to give away. It's a Justin Jefferson rookie receiving record hoodie It's got the 18 on the back, and then it's got the,
Looks pretty slick.
the Jefferson picture, as you can see on there. So that's going to be our first giveaway, and we're going to make it real easy on you guys. There's only 2 requirements to be registered to win the jersey. You have to be a subscriber to the channel. So if you're not subscribed already, hit that little subscribe button.
Subscribe button. Yep.
And then for the next 4 weeks from this episode up until training camp starts, every week we're going to say the name of a mystery player sometime during the episode.
Right.
So all you have to do is, like I said, be subscribed to the channel and then comment that mystery player down in the comment section. And that'll automatically get you registered for the jersey. And then we will give it away on our show the week of the July 28th when training camp starts. So
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
That's right.
yeah,
And
like
get
four,
sent
you got
out.
like 4 weeks to get signed up. So, keep that in mind, and we will, the contest.
You could subscribe that last week, put the comment of the special player in the comments, and still get your name in the hat. So
Yep. So anyway, like I said, keep an eye out for the secret player of the week. We'll announce that sometime during this episode. Then you'll have, up until next week to register for this week's show, and then we'll move on for the next 4 weeks. Speaking of moving on, we'll move on here.
do you guys know the rules?
Yeah, you should be pretty good. We just went
They
over
are
that.
difficult.
Very difficult.
Okay. Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things?
So anyway, we're going to start a new segment.
I'm
again,
excited about this.
during
This is great.
this dead period.
This epitomizes what the show is about.
Yeah, we've been
Get
talking.
things done.
We've been talking it here ever since the show started, pretty much. And especially since what we've done with the draft and in free agency. That
It's no hold
There-
bar here, dude.
there's no more excuses for this team to not compete for a Super Bowl this year. And if they do, there's guys.
I don't want to
heads
hear
are
about
gonna
any
start rolling.
fucking missing pieces that we need to complete this team because it is ready to go.
Yep. So with that, we are now announcing the No Excuses Tour 2021.
Get on the bus.
Yo, stop making excuses, man. Nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. You gotta take responsibility for your own success, regardless of your circumstances. You're responsible for your own success. Crying about your circumstances is no longer effective for you. You're a motherfucking man, and men are expected to produce results. That's how you're gonna be judged on what you produce or what you don't. But nobody's gonna have pity on you, and nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. No one gives a fuck about how difficult it is for you. No one cares about what you had to go through. The only thing that matters are the results that you produce.
Okay, now, so the first stop on the No Excuses Tour that we're going to do this week is the coaching, and more specifically, Mike Zimmer himself.
Right.
Mike has been great over the years of, throwing people under the bus, or we need to play better, or, the damn
I'm
onside
so
kicks are
sick
the
of
reason
that.
why
We
didn't
need to
win the
play
game.
better shit every fucking time we lose a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just need to play better. No, there's more to it than just we need to play better.
Right.
Like when he came into the league, he was supposed to be a straight shooter, tell you everything, not try to hide anything and brush it under the rug. Now it's just a one fucking statement and that's it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of statements, one of the most telling statements about Mike Zimmer's tenure, I mean, he's got the third highest win percentage
Right.
in Vikings coaching history.
That doesn't tell the
but-
whole story though.
It's not the whole story, because if you break down that record, his record against teams that finish the season at or above 500
Exactly.
is 296. He's 17-36.
That is ugly, and that does not taste good.
No. So, I mean, and, like our buddy Drew Bunting always likes to say, king of the dipshit teams, Zimmer beats the crap out of horrible teams. But when you get to decent and better teams, then he gets the crap kicked out of him. I mean,
Right.
take a look at this. I found this interesting. Our buddies over at Score North, Mackey and Judd had this on
Right.
on a show late last week, but they had a list of coaches who, during the same time frame that Zimmer has been coach here at the Vikings, and the only coach to have a worse winning percentage against winning teams was Jay Gruden when he was coaching for the Washington whatevers.
Yeah.
His was at .206. But other coaches that are in that the same time frame that aren't so good against winning teams, Bill O'Brien with
Yeah.
Houston, he was at 307. Dan
Better
Quinn,
than Zim,
Yes.
you guys. Bill fucking Bryant.
and we've talked about how clueless Bill O'Brien is at pretty much everything to do with coaching and being a GM and everything
Well,
else.
he no longer has a head coaching job.
No,
So
so Bill O'Brien was canned. So was Jay Gruden, who we just mentioned earlier. The next highest on the list was Dan Quinn with Atlanta. He has a .317
Ooh,
percentage
God.
against winning teams, and he even made a Super Bowl, and he's
Right.
gone.
He's kicked out.
The next one on the list was Jason Garrett down with Dallas. He had a .380 win percentage. He gone.
Jason Garrett had a higher winning percentage against winning teams than fucking Mike Zimmer.
Yep. The next one on the list, Mike McCarthy, old coach Cletus when he was with that team from Wisconsin and now down in Dallas. He has a .405 winning percentage against 500 plus teams. He got fired. Now since has gotten another job, but
Right.
then the next one is Doug Peterson with the Eagles, who won a Super Bowl. You know,
Guess what?
we don't want to talk about. He had a point.
He doesn't have a job either.
Yeah, he got fired this year. And then the other one with an under 500 percentage is Ron Rivera at .478. You know, through many years with the Carolina Panthers, and now he's in with the Washington whatevers.
Well,
And
you're
there again,
getting
he
to the
lost
point-
his job too. So the kind of recurring theme is if you're that shitty against winning teams, you're going to lose your job. So, Mike, you better make that win percentage go up considerably this year, or you're going to be the next guy on this list that's gone.
Depends on how deep fucking Ziggy's Scotch classes get.
Well, like I said, with the no excuses thing, if we don't produce this year,
Yeah.
there's got to be changes made. I mean,
Yep.
you look at other stuff with Zimmer. He only makes the playoffs every other year. Now, granted, being this is an odd number year, that should, you know, it has no bearing on anything. It's just a weird coincidence, but an odd number year should say that we would make the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah.
You know, lack of division success. You know, he's most of the time when he, you know, in those
Has he only won the division? He's only won the division.
only
twice
won the
in
division
7 years.
once. Two, I think, wasn't it? Two,
I was good. Okay.
because 2 of the 3 years he played in the wild card. Now I don't remember because it was he won the division in 17,
With a 13-3 record.
13-3 record.
I think that might be the only one he's got.
Yep, because then the other 2 were the wild card game. We had to go to Seattle when Blair went wide left.
Well, that'd be Seattle came here that year.
No,
So we
well,
were
yeah,
close.
you're
Yep.
yeah,
So
you're right. It was here because that was that cold ass game. So
we got 2 divisions under Zimmer in
yeah,
8 years.
you're right. But regardless, you know, 2 out of 8 years is not going to cut it.
Well, we've only got two playoff wins as well.
Right.
So,
You know, and one of
and
those
both were
was-
miracles
Yeah, basically.
against the same team.
Yeah, which, you know, against the Saints makes it a little sweeter, but still, you know, you can't hang your legacy on 2 games. So
Especially you can't hang your NFL legacy on coulda, woulda, shoulda either.
no, and that's the thing. You know, you start looking at these big games against these winning teams. It seems a lot of times it seems like Zimmer just gets himself out coached out there. You know, it's
A lot of the times I'm seeing no adjustments made. I'm seeing a square peg getting jammed into a fucking circle.
mhm.
Game in and game out. A lot of times, there's very few games I see the right adjustments being made.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's, you know, kind of like when we had Brad Childress here, if it's an ego thing that, you know, his defense, you know, Childress's offense was supposedly, you know, the kick-ass offense, you know, if it's run correctly, so he's blaming it on not being
Yeah,
run correctly.
My ass.
is that kind of the same thing Zimmer's doing here with
In
his
my
defense?
generation, Childers my fucking worst coach on my list of coaches that I've
I couldn't stand
experienced.
Childers. Never could.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. But, the other things with Zimmer, his philosophy needs to change, as like we were talking here. His offensive philosophy is stuck in 1994.
Yeah.
We need to get with the 2020s and, realize that it's a passing, he understands that it's a passing league because he needs to alter his defense to counter.
I was going to say, the sad thing is that teams are starting to figure out how to get through that Zimmer defense. You know, they're starting to figure out, ways to beat Zim's defense, and Zim is having a hard time adjusting to other teams catching up to his, ways of calling the game.
Well, it's like any kind of philosophy, if once it's around enough, there's enough teams that are copying it and learning it that you've got to adjust, or else, people know what you're going to do, and then it's not effective anymore. But, and then also another thing with Zimmer is his complete and utter cluelessness when it comes to running the 4-minute drill and the 2-minute drill.
He is a horrible time manager. There's been numerous times where we're burning timeouts in the first and third quarters, and there's nothing more insanely hair pulling for me when you're wasting timeouts in the first and third.
Well, the one that's even more infuriating to me is when, we're down in that last minute of the game or whatever, and all we got to do is keep them out of the end zone and run the damn clock out because the other team doesn't have any timeouts. And, we can have them on their heels, and then all of a sudden Zimmer calls a fucking timeout. What, dude, you're giving the other team a chance to rest and to
mind-boggling,
and to come up with something to beat your ass, which more times often than not, they do when you do stupid shit like that.
I clinch my ass every time my team goes on a 2-minute drive against us.
Or we have to go on our own 2-minute drive, but.
Right. Hitting on that again, another thing that pisses me off is Zim never tries to go for points before the half, it seems like. And he does at times, but it's very far in between. There could be 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the clock. We could have all 3 timeouts. First play, draw, Delvin, or dive up the middle to Delvin. Come on, man.
But there again, we've talked about this before. I firmly believe that Zimmer, in his mind, doesn't want the offense to be the reason why we win the games. He wants the offense to do just enough, score enough points, get to his 17, 20 points, whatever his Mendoza line is. That, once he gets there, then as far as he's concerned, the offense can shut down for the rest of the day because he wants his defense to stand firm, hold tight, and, there again, make the fan base chew on glass for the last quarter and a half because he's out there doing that Delvin center on third and then on 3rd and 8, you throw a 3-yard dump pass to Chad Beebe.
And they've been stepping up so far. Now 3rd down, Cousins with all kinds of time, but throws it well short.
Which the defense is see coming.
Right. Stevie Wonder can see that coming.
I don't know what's worse, Zimmer, or having what's his nuts with the little fucking card that used to coach here. Everybody gave him shit with the little fucking calling card.
Yeah, what the heck?
Came from Atlanta. I can't remember.
Bill Musgrave.
Yeah, there you go. One and the same, it seems like.
Well, Childers had that too. That laminated sheet Childers used to carry around too, because back then it was, Adrian left, Adrian right, Adrian center, punt. We used to call it the IHOP menu, and the IHOP stood for idiot has one play.
Oh shit. Adrian was a beast though, man.
Yeah. I was an Adrian fan up until that whole legal issue deal he had. And then after that, you can get fucking bent as far as I'm concerned. But
people sure know how to throw, people for a loop.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, we'll get back to the the segment here. Here again, we went off that cliff again. Okay. But anyway, you got what you wanted, Mike. So it's put up or shut up, shit or get off the pot. If you don't produce this year, then you're going to be looking for another job next year.
I fucking hope so, man.
This is year 8. By this time, I'm afraid Zimmer's gotten us as far as he's going to. 2017 was the high water mark. I hope I'm wrong. You know, that's a thing, you know, the fan base, when we're critical of stuff like this, the fan base is like, oh, you want us to lose. And no, we don't want you to lose, but you know, we're going to call it out when we see it. And the Zimmer that was here, you know, the first 3 years isn't the same Zimmer anymore.
He's gone, man.
He's lost that fire.
Gone.
He needs to get
ever
that
since
fire
he messed
back.
up his eye. I don't know if it's some X-Files shit or what, but he messed up his eyes, and then all of a sudden that fire was out.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with it, but I would just
no, and it probably has nothing to do with his Maxim model girlfriend that he's got either, you know.
Right. But seriously, this is not a marriage, you know. At some point when things don't work, you gotta go separate ways, man.
Yep. Well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get different results out of it. So.
And you don't want that, Minnesota. We're already fucking crazy enough the way it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we shut the book on this, I would like to hit on Dennison as well. No excuses for you, Dennison. We brought in everything that you need to construct a great offense, you know, a somewhat decent, above average offensive line. Get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done.
You know, and like I said, you know, we mentioned this before too. I've never been a big Rick Dennison fan. You know, the only reason we brought him in here is because he was part of that Denver Mafia when we brought in Gary and the whole crew there. You know, honestly, I would have liked to have gotten Tice back in. You know, we were in discussions to get him in here, but at the point it didn't pan out because he wanted to change up all the terminology and stuff, and it was close to the beginning of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't work. But you know, there again, Dennison, you're another one that needs to put
right. It's not all on Zimmer, but that whole coaching staff from Zimmer on down, you know. Yep. He might not have hit on you, but you guys are in there too. You guys are just as, you know, liable as Zimmer is when it comes to this. Zimmer a little bit more because he's the head coach, but
right. And you know, this isn't giving a free pass for Zimmer to use any of these guys below him as a scapegoat either, because Zimmer, when it all boils down to it, even though he acts like he's not, you know, not most of the time because he just wants to deal with the defense. Mike, you're the head coach. The buck stops with you on everything.
Right.
So, you know, anyway, that's our the first stop on the No Excuses tour. We'll have another stop next week and kind of break down some more stuff. So
right.
With that, we are going to take a quick break here and bring you into another classic beer commercial. So take a look at this and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Light beer.
More taste or less taste?
I don't care.
Kind of how your girlfriend doesn't care that you're borrowing her pants?
Called skinny jeans. Kind of in right now.
They're kind of not.
Man up and choose a light beer with more taste. Grab a triple hops brewed Miller Lite with that great Pilsner taste.
Hey! Score still 21-32? Yeah, just like a jean size.
All right, we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed the commercial. Now, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, part of our contest giveaway is having the secret player of the week. And the secret player of the week is this dude right here in this little video clip that you're seeing.
3rd and 5. Quick throw far side. This is right. First down and more. Only Richardson to beat. Right. Will score. And the Minnesota Vikings win it on an 87-yard catch and run to Jarius Wright.
The secret player this week is number 17, Jarius Wright. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and comment Jarius Wright down in the comment section, and you will be automatically entered for that Justin Jefferson hoodie that we're giving away
Right.
here.
Even if you want to put down your, your favorite Jarius Wright moment or whatever, but basically just Jarius Wright. But go ahead and throw in whatever you want if you want to.
As long as you write Jarius Wright and you're subscribed, you're automatically entered. So
right.
So moving on. Right.
Right. Okay.
Jarius Wright. Anyway, we got some viewer questions this week. Now we're going to move on to.
Thanks, guys.
We got 4 of them. We actually got a bunch of them this week that we're probably not going to be able to get to all of them. So we'll do some now and then we'll move.
We will get to yours.
We'll get to yours. It may not be until next week, but we'll get to it.
Out there. Yep.
So our first question comes from Tommy Ruiz. He asks, will this be Hitman's last year with the Vikings? I'll let you hit that one first, Lance. What do you think?
I think a lot plays into this. I really believe most players, before they leave, want that Super Bowl. If it's with us and it's this year, I don't think this is Hitman's last year. I'm going to go right to it right there. I don't think it's his last year. I think if we win one here this year, knock on wood, I think he's going to want to stay around for one more year. If we don't win one this year, I think he's either with another team or I don't think this is his last season, honestly. The guy wants the Super Bowl, and I think it's a little early yet to close the door on the Hitman.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way he's done playing. And I know he came out this weekend. I think there was something that somebody had asked him about, the fact that this is his last year of his contract. And he said straight out, that he wants to get something done. He wants to stay here, and he wants to keep playing for the Vikings. So it's going to boil down to basically money. And, a lot of it could depend on how he plays this year. If he starts showing his age, I think he's 32 now.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But
if he does sign a contract, it's not going to be a long-term deal. It'll probably be a couple of years.
Safety though too, you could play a little bit longer into
you can play 30s. Late 30s a lot of times. You look at some of these guys.
You don't need quite as much coverage skills at a safety as you do at corner, so it's a little bit easier to move around back there.
Well, and as built as the Hitman is too, he keeps himself in really good shape. Granted,
he does.
He takes a lot of wear and tear on the body because he goes out and freaking levels people, but it's going to boil down, I think, to how this year goes. I think he's going to be. I think he'll. He had a little bit of a down year last year. I think this year he'll be back a little closer to normal Hitman, mainly because he's got experience around him in the secondary.
It all comes down to his body and how his body keeps up. If he's going to lose a step, you just don't know until you see him get on the field, especially at the age that he's at, like we're saying here.
And part of it too becomes, money for next year. Are we going to have enough cap space to sign him to him? And because Brian O'Neill's going to need a new contract. We've got some other guys coming up.
I know they've been in talks already with Smith and O'Neill. So the discussion is there,
right? And part of what they were originally talking was giving Harrison an extension, maybe giving him, because he doesn't have any guaranteed money in his contract right now. That's all gone. Maybe giving him some this year to lower his cap hit if we needed to sign.
So long.
The only other thing is, if the wheels do fall off, is it a possibility that we could maybe move him before the trade deadline? Because he's still good enough where he probably would have.
Could probably fetch a third for him or a fourth.
I would think a third anyway, if not maybe a late second.
I think honestly, he goes out the way that Greenway did. Hopefully, in my opinion, that'd be the way I'd like to see him, but with a trophy,
right?
Obviously. But I look at Harrison Smith the same way I look at Greenway as the type of player that he is. I look for him to have that kind of a farewell. But Chris Carter played for the Dolphins too, so
right. It's a business, and time will tell, I guess. But to move on to the next question here from Michael Drua, and he asks, "Will Cousins finally come through for us this year?"
Oh, excuse us if Ryan butchers your names.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled Drew, like Drew with an A at the back of it. So
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. But will Cousins come through it for us? I mean, that basically is the question that keeps Vikings social media rolling every day. You know,
I got a way to answer that quick here.
I'll let you in. I'll let you take it then if you want to hit that one first, because I've got my own comments. But
go absolutely. I don't think Cousins will be the reason we win a Super Bowl. Can we win a Super Bowl with Cousins? Yes. But a lot of things have to go right for that to work. Is Cousins a bad quarterback? No, I mean, he can make all the throws, but a lot of the time things have to go right, and it's easy to get into his head, it seems like. You know, yes, I think we can win a Super Bowl with Cousins, but not because of Cousins, but we can get there and win one with him on the team.
yeah, you know, I guess I would agree with that. You know, Kirk's going to put up his stats like he always does, but like you said, the big deal with Kirk is things have to go according to script. He's not good at all about improvising.
No, he cannot.
You know, he's part of his, and this isn't Kirk's fault. It's just the way he is. You know, I think the man is so OCD about things, you know, that
exactly
he sits there and he has to think and think and think and think, where, you know, the greats, the gunslingers, the mobile guys, you know, they'll just go out there and let shit fly like Tommy Kramer used to, you know,
Kirk doesn't have that.
Bringing it back around to our opening guests here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kirk doesn't have that fuck it, let it loose mentality. And I'm not saying that's, you know, a bad thing. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
We don't hate Kirk Cousins here. We don't hate him.
No, and if Kirk it helps us win a Super Bowl, awesome.
Right.
You know, we'll come on this, and if he has a great game in the Super Bowl and helps it lead us to win, we'll be on this show the very next day singing the praises of Kirk Cousins and congratulating him for finally getting us that title.
We are going to be as real as we possibly can, like we said when we are in the reveal.
Yeah.
You know, when people deserve to get patted on the back, we're going to pat them on the back. When people deserve to be thrown under the bus, they're going to get thrown under the bus.
Right. You know, and that's the thing, you know, you see all these arguments and stuff. Well, it's either you slurp on Cousins to the fact where, you know, he's chafing or you hate him. You
can't be critical of the guy. If you're critical of the guy, everybody fucking jumps on you like wolves.
Well, that's the thing. And people need to realize, and this problem is not just in sports, it's everywhere nowadays. It seems like, you know, it's not just one way or the other. You can appreciate the guy, like the guy. I don't hate Kirk. I like Kirk. I like Kirk. But the thing of it is you put the team above an individual player. I don't care if Satan himself is quarterbacking this team. If we win a Super Bowl, I'm going to be fucking ecstatic.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but that's a problem. You know, some people.
Did you hear what Vikings Uncensored said?
Oh my God. They're advocating, they'd rather have Satan quarterbacking than Kirk Cousins.
Oh shit, man.
But no, you know, can Kirk do it? Yeah, he can. He's got the tools to do it.
Guys.
Will he? That
Everything
remains to be
has to
seen.
go right.
Yep. You know, I'm not convinced that he'll do it, but I'd love to be proven wrong. We'll put it that way.
He's not going to be like a quarterback that's going to carry you there.
No, he's not going to be a Mahomes. He's not going to be a Peyton Manning or somebody like
He's
Tom
a quarterback
Brady.
that get you there, but he's not going to carry you. He's not going to carry this team on his back.
Nope, he's going to be more in that Jeff Hostetler, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson kind of thing. You know,
even though he puts up better stats and numbers than those guys ever did.
Oh yeah, look at his stats. And that, you know, you got the Kirkistani.
That's exactly the type of quarterback he is, though. He's going to need the whole team. The whole team is going to have to come together for this to work. Not just Kirk Cousins lighting it up and getting us there. That's not going to happen.
No,
this whole team
because it's not. You know, really, realistically, probably a a better comparison for, well, I guess that's not a good comparison because Alex Smith won more games, but he's kind of an Alex Smith type quarterback. He's, a high end game manager.
I can respect that.
He's not going to, and I'm not, that's not a knock on Kirk. That's just the kind of guy he is. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not.
And he has an arm. He is a quarterback.
Oh yeah.
He is a quarterback, 100%.
Kirk has got a great arm and he's got great accuracy.
Throw.
But sometimes I think what goes on in here is his own worst enemy.
He can't work off script.
No. So
anyways,
yeah, we'll move on because
Drew.
We kind of ran that one into the ground, and I'm sure we
can
will
talk
again.
Kirk Cousins all day.
Oh yeah,
he's just that type of person.
Yep, he's a polarizing figure.
Yes.
But anyway, on to our next question from Brian Giovando. Again, I apologize if I butcher your name, but he asks, now that we have that stout defense back, do you think we will see a lot more blitzing than we have in the last couple of years?
I'll let you start with this.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know that we will, because if we can get constant pressure with the front four, then we don't need to blitz. And like last year, we really couldn't blitz because you had to hold the linebackers back or the safeties back because, in pass coverage. So, I think you'll probably see more, well-timed blitzes where you're going to send Harrison off from one side, or you're going to bring Mackenzie Alexander out of the nickel on a corner blitz or something like that.
See, we don't want to be the team that has to blitz.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's teams that have to blitz, and then there's teams that can use the blitz.
Yep.
To really fucking dominate. Hopefully we're the latter, side of that.
Blitzing is always much more effective when it's well-timed and they're not expecting it. That's the whole key behind blitzing is to do it when the team isn't expecting it.
And then you get these blitz happy coaches that their teams just get shredded, man.
Yeah, like guys playing Madden on easy mode that sends the cornerback or three cornerbacks on every play or kind of a thing.
God, I hate that shit.
So, like I said, as far as seeing more blitzes, I don't know that we will. Better time blitzes and stuff like that. Sure.
I get what he's getting at. I think he wants to see like more pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
That might be where he's getting at. But a well-timed, well-placed blitz is better than, just blitzing because you want to blitz.
Right. And you want to be able to get that constant pressure with your front four, and with Hunter back, hopefully that does it. Bringing
with
in
all these corners, influx of corners coming in, hopefully that pass or that coverage is there,
Yeah.
and then you can throw a blitz in there when the other team isn't expecting it because the coverage is there. You got legitimate pass rushing skills.
Yeah. Plus
it makes it that much harder for your offense to adjust to what you're calling on defense.
Yeah, and we have Sheldon Richardson back. We have a bunch of young. The real question is what's going to come off of that inside opposite of Hunter. We've got Stephen Weatherly. We've got
so many tools.
We've got the two young guys, or three young guys. We got Wanham, we got Jones, we got Robinson, we got
Jalen Holmes.
Oh boy!
Yay!
I think
he ain't making the team this year.
Jalen's going to go Holmes this year, I think, because
he's going Holmes.
I don't think he's going to make it, but he might prove us wrong. I don't know. Guys like him and Hercules and those guys are going to.
Herc, I'm a little bit more sad to see go than I would be at Jalen Holmes. I think Herc I like a little bit because of the no gloves and the bare hand. Although I did see he started wearing gloves there towards the end of last season.
Yeah. But there again, he flashed every once in a while, but
I was hoping for big things out of him, but it just hasn't happened.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to our next set of questions. We've actually got a set of 3 here from our buddy, the barbecue pitmaster, Reggie Adams Jr.
Okay, something good happens. We're going to have it on video. Oh, jeez.
Well, that first batch might be done for. Reggie.
So, hey, Reg, what's up? So the first question he has is, what do we think the struggles that the Vikings offense will have this year, if any? Realistically, as far as weapons go, we're pretty well stacked. We've got Cook, we've got Jefferson, we've got Thielen. we've got Irv Smith, we've got Gronklin,
Gronklin.
And on paper, at least the line looks to be improved. I know Clint Kubiak was on, Clint with a K, was after he did a press conference after the mandatory minicamp, and he was saying that Darisaw was far exceeding their expectations so far. So
something as that as well on the page.
Yep. So that's a good sign. Wyatt Davis, is looking pretty decent. Granted, he's got to beat out Dakota Dozier, which is going to be pretty tough. But
it'd be really funny if you actually had a coach come in here and actually shoot straight from the hip with people. If somebody was sucking, a rookie that you brought in, and I'm not saying that it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because they wouldn't let it happen in an organization.
Right. And
I'll just say hypothetically Darisaw comes in and they're like, oh yeah, he's not doing very well. He fucking sucks at practice. He hasn't been doing very good. You ain't never gonna hear that shit. No. They always say the stuff that the fans want to hear. So you gotta dig a little bit deeper if you really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what I'm saying.
But anyway, getting back to Reggie's question, I guess the biggest there's two questions I have on offense. One is, who's the wide receiver 3 going to be? I'm real intrigued to see what Smith Marset brings to the table, because he's got speed. He's got, plus he's got return ability and things like that. So I think he's getting the inside track to be number 3.
Can I put you on a pause there for a second?
Yeah.
A lot of these things I'm hearing from people that follow the Hawkeyes is Marset is the real deal. We're really getting a good player coming in here. And
I've heard some of that too.
I look for big things out of Smith Marset. A lot of the casual Vikings fans are like, well, he's just a rookie. But I've talked to some Hawkeye fans personally, and they say he's got it. So, if we got 3 receivers that have it, you better watch out.
Right. We got the new version of 3 deep going here.
Right. And you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, which is not going to hurt you.
Right. And, and of course, Zimmer doesn't see an expanded role for Irv Smith. So, we can just discount him, but
blowing wind once again.
Yeah,
there really is no excuses for this offense. There's not.
No,
and we'll hit on it.
Yep.
Keep your eyes open and your ears peeled.
You're not your eyes peeled and your ears open the other way.
Right. Yeah.
we don't want the other stuff. So anyway, then. Reggie's second part of his question, he wants to know who our favorite current Vikings players are. I'll let you hit that one first.
That's tough, man. I love all the guys that are here, really, except for Kirk Cousins.
There it is.
Yeah, no. But for real, it's hard for me to have a single favorite player because I like all the guys that we have most of the time. There's not a time where I'm like, I can't really stand him. Unless he's like sucking it up during the season, like Rhodes was a couple of years back after, his roads closed. Well, it was roads open.
Yeah.
I like Rhodes.
The freaking Autobahn after that. Yeah.
Oh man, it was horrible. I am a big fan of the whole team as a general. I can't really pick individual players. I do have players I like more than others, but at the same time, I am a fan of the entire team. So it's hard for me to choose a favorite.
Yeah, and kind of to the extent
I would have to go with Thielen though. If I was hard pressed, I would have to go with Thielen.
Okay. Me, I'm gonna, Thielen's probably right up there, but I'm gonna go with Harrison Smith as my personal favorite of the current team.
I had a feeling that's who you were gonna go with.
I've always, for some reason, it seems like most of my favorite players have always been on the defensive side of the ball. John Randall, Millard, Dolman, Studwell, that kind of stuff. Harrison Smith, I just like the way he plays. I like the fact that he's still that old school, go out and smack you in the freaking mouth.
It pisses me off some of these times that these refs get so ticky-tacky with him too.
Well, last year that was terrible. I mean, he got 4 or 5 personal
fouls. He got ejected, man.
Yeah, and it wasn't even they called him for spearing or helmet to helmet, whatever it was. And it wasn't. It was a shoulder pad. He just hit so hard it sounds like helmet to helmet when it's actually shoulder pad.
It sucks when they do that at the players, especially ones that I don't think Hitman is going in with malicious intent.
No, he's not a dirty player. He's just,
and you can tell by his reaction after a play when the play gets. I don't think he's a dirty player at all. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You could, like I said, you look at it, you could see. So, but yeah, I love Hitman too. And like I said, it's hard for me to pick a certain player because
I get it, and
guys,
you know,
man.
and you know, we've had this discussion in our Gallerhorn group and stuff that we talk in. You know, Drew and I have talked about this quite a bit, that, you know, the older I get, the less I kind of fall into that, valuing individual players above the team kind of thing. Because, you know, I'm getting to the point, you know, and like the mantra of our show, we want to win a Super Bowl. And, you know, I don't really, there's players that in the league that I don't like, and I would prefer not to have them.
Yeah.
But if they're on the team and we win a Super Bowl with them, I'm not going to say, screw this. I don't want this. I don't want this Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers happens to be our quarterback, you know, which is probably not going to happen, but
no, no,
you know, so, you know, I value team above player.
Yeah,
especially the older I go. I mean, I mean, there's players that I really like, you know, more than others, like you said, and Harry's one of those. So
yeah, like I said, Thielen's one of those on offense.
Yep.
But
and he would be for me as well. You know, Jefferson, same thing.
It's not fair to anybody else on the team, you know, if you can't enjoy watching them as much as you do somebody else, in my opinion. So
yeah, Dalvin Cook's another one. I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's so easy to
so, I mean, you can sit there and rattle off all these guys.
One favorite player,
you know, and sometimes it's, you know, maybe not the big name guys that people like. It's the unsung.
Exactly, like Thielen. You know,
yeah,
I like Thielen when before he was Thielen.
You
know,
when he was practice squad guy working his way up.
Yes.
And blah 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 blah.
I always had a feeling about that Thielen.
Yep.
That Thielen was right.
Yeah. So check out the TikTok page, because there's a little video that Lance just put up here on Monday night, Tuesday morning, whatever it was. Anyway,
during the week.
Yep. We'll move on to the last question from Reggie. With the 4th of July coming up, he wants to know what we're cooking for the 4th.
From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Someday, maybe Fred will win the fight, then that cat will stay out for the night.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I haven't really thought that far ahead, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's a Tuesday.
I'm sure he's doing something crazy over there.
God, he's probably got 17 hogs hanging ready to go on the smoker.
20-foot table.
Yeah. Now for me, I'm guessing it's gonna, you know,
burgers and dogs.
It may be burgers and dogs. It may be ribs. It may be, you know, pulled pork.
I might go out to eat. I don't know.
I haven't decided yet. I'm not even sure what I'm doing for the weekend yet.
I do have that day off though. I have to work the day before a 12er, but I do have the 4th off. But I like to wing it and kind of just go with the flow.
That's kind of my thing too. I'll go to the grocery store and start walking around. Oh, this is on sale. I'm going to make this, or this looks good. I'm going to make this. You know, kind of depends on my mood, but. So it'll be something on the grill, but I'm not sure what it is yet. So
what do we got next there, bud?
That's about it for the questions. You know, like I said, we had a few more, but I think we'll save those for next week. Give it, kind of spread it out, make sure we've got stuff to talk about for the next 3 weeks here.
Right.
So, but anyway, that's really about all we've got this week.
But still, guys, keep the questions coming because we.
Absolutely. You know, we're keeping track of them. We've got them written down stuff. So we'll get to them eventually. If we don't get to them, like I said, this week or next week, you know, we'll get to them in following.
In the can.
Yep, they're sitting there ready to go. So again, want to thank everybody.
We just don't want a 2-hour-long episode.
Right.
I'll let you go, Ryan. I've been doing this all day today for this episode.
Yeah, yeah. I think you must have had a little bit too much energy drink this morning.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming, watching us this week. Again, you know, if you're out on a road trip or gone this weekend, you know, not only are we on the YouTube channel, you can find us on audio versions on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and Pandora. Again, the YouTube channel, or TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. You can find us, listen to us while you're out at out camping this weekend. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button. And of course, remember our hoodie contest. so, comment with the secret player who we mentioned earlier in the episode down in the comment section. That'll get you entered. But with that, why don't you take us out of here today, Lance?
All right, guys. Thanks again for coming. Episode 15. All right. Can't wait till we get to episode 30. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. If you hit that like button, it helps us boost up the algorithm. So when people search for Vikings news, they'll see Vikings Uncensored. We're still not showing up in the searches, so it would help us out a lot. Please, if you watch, subscribe. Obviously, we're gonna run your ear crazy with that shit, but we would like the subscribe. We got a lot of good things coming, people.
Yeah.
Stick with us. We're looking forward to the season. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Purple People this week. Thanks, guys, for letting us come in there and plug our show and share the Vikings news. If you guys are looking for a good group to join on Facebook, look up the Purple People. You can find them there. And with that being said, we will see you all next week. No excuses, bitches.
No Excuses Tour 2021. Everybody have a great and safe 4th of July, no matter where you are, what you're doing. And because we want to see you back again next week for episode 16. So with that, we'll see you guys later.